So, welcome you all to the Sunday Bhagavad Gita classes. So, we are in the chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 3 is known as Karma Yoga, working in Krishna consciousness. And what is the acronym of chapter 3?
Yaga.
Acronym.
Acronym is
It's
T.
Yeah, T stands for Tyaga.
Yoga.
And 3, Tyaga is from the sloka number 1 to 9. So, we have completed that division till the previous class. And R is for the rungs of the yoga ladder. And E is for exemplary. Another E is the enemy of the soul. So, knowing that, we are committing sin very well, at least we in the human form of life is quite aware about the sinful reactions of our activities that we do. But in spite of knowing that, we are impelled to commit the sinful activities. So why is that so? That's what the question which Arjuna is asking. And the fourth division is the enemy of the soul. It is because of the karma esha, krodha esha, rajoguna samudbhava, because of the raja quality, the passionate quality of kama, obtaining more, and krodha. And today we see that the material world is fully based on the rajoguna, right? Fully, people or just ask, even a normal person, if they ask us a question, what do they ask? What is your passion, right? So this passion, which is considered to be very great, but this passion is the one which is binding us in this material world. So we saw in the first division on Tyaga, Arjuna was confused about fighting again. And this time the confusion was philosophical. Upon hearing the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, Arjuna thought that when Krishna says, Durena hevaram karma buddhi yoge tvimam srunu, keep away all the abominable activities and engage yourself in the buddhi yoga. So Arjuna is now thinking that when this fighting is a Gora activity, why should I do such an abominable activity rather than I will retire from the warfield and perform Krishna consciousness? But did Krishna approve that? Because there is a slight confusion in the understanding of philosophy. So, for which Krishna is replying that people often confuse between the Sankhya Yoga and the Bhakti Yoga. Actually speaking, they are the same. But in the purport, Prabhupada clears that Sankhya Yoga is a very difficult process and it's a very time-consuming process, whereas the Bhakti Yoga is the most easiest process. And he also gave a very beautiful lines like philosophy without religion is a speculation and religion without philosophy is a fanaticism. They go hand in hand. So without any philosophy, if you're saying that I'm praying God, now when we are connecting to Krishna, we know that we are eternally his servant and he is our eternal father. So we are able to connect to Krishna. But without this knowledge, will it be easy for us to connect to Krishna?
No.
Not possible. Sometimes sentimentally we may feel good, but that might be, a very sentimental way, So like somebody was asking me this question, when I go to the temple, ISKCON, I'm not able to feel connected, with the Lordship, Radha and Krishna. So I said, see, if you're a lost son and you're seeing your biological father after many years and you do not know he is your father, will you be able to feel the connection? He is your father.
Not possible.
Just because you do not know, but biologically he is your father. Because there is no knowledge that this particular person is your father, he may just pass through and you do not feel connected. So similarly, this knowledge is also important for us to connect to the Lord. But in the Sankhya Yoga, it's more of 90, 90, 90, not this, not that, not that, not that. And finally they come. That's what in the 12th chapter also Krishna says, Kleshodika tarasdesham avyakta sakta chetasam. This process is very, very difficult. Whereas the Bhakti Yoga is a very simple process. Bhaktyamam abhijanati yavan yashyasmi tattvata. Krishna says that by bhakti one can easily understand me. And in Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji says, Vedeshu durlabha ma atma bhakto. I'm very difficult to be understood by Vedas. Durlabha, it's very difficult. But my Atma Bhakta can understand me very easily.
Easily.
So this is about the glories of the Bhakti Yoga, but we should not consider them to be a different way. The goal is the same, but the path is different. But we should not, because Arjuna thinks that Krishna gave several ways. When Krishna spoke about Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, because in the second chapter, basically Krishna is giving the entire philosophy. So the further chapters are all philosophical questions, because people can often misinterpret the philosophy. And then Krishna is saying Arjuna that, because Arjuna is trying to become a renunciant, a sannyasi. He wants to just leave his activity of fighting in the war and he wants to retire. So Krishna is condemning about the uh, sannyasis, I mean, imperfect sannyasis or immature sannyasis, these, because it is not very easy to renounce everything. Sannyasa is the fourth order in the society. After brahmacharya, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasa. So how can one easily become a sannyasi? Is it possible? Sometimes we ourselves, we go on a yatra. We are not going with the family. We left the family behind. So we think, we can dedicate our time completely to Krishna. We have all the time with us. But how many times the thought of our family comes in our mind?
Very often.
Did the child get up? Did the child take the breakfast? Did the child go to school on time, office on time, college on time? Is the maids are coming and doing their work properly? Are they managing to procure the groceries properly, right? So we are so much attached, So Arjuna, being a family man, it is not very easy for him on the grounds of
Become a saint.
renunciation. Just, I will leave and go. And Krishna also condemns about the mithyachari, a pretender, in the name of sannyasa. Externally, they do the activities, as though they are sense controlled. But internally, their mind is dwelling
Not
on
purified.
the sense enjoyment. They think, how to enjoy the senses. So internally, they are enjoying the senses, and externally, they are showing themselves to be a renunciant. And such a pretender, Krishna is very much condemning. Don't become a pretender, because if you're living immaturely, you may rather become a pretender. And today, people do that. When somebody is a failure in their life, they take in India, especially, they wear a saffron cloth. They have some knowledge, they read something here and there, and they are charismatic, and then they become a sannyasa. And then, in India, people, are very sannyasis are highly respectful in India, right? And people, they come so that they can take blessings from the sannyasis. They want their children to get blessings. Mainly, it is on the material blessings, to get good education, good wealth, good wife, good spouse, whatever it is, right? So this is what the people want. And these people, they take advantage of that, how to extract money. In fact, they have a rate card also for the blessing. If you want to come, you have to take the blessing. So one of the gurus of today's world, he has a rate card. If he has to go to a marriage and bless the couple, so this is how it is. So Krishna is very much condemning. Even if you're sincerely following to do devotion, at some times, because of our previous habits or because of our thing, if we fall down, Krishna is ready to excuse us. He says in the 9th chapter, Apise Juracharo, even if you have committed an abominable sin, but if somebody is, the path is Krishna, he is still considered to be my devotee. He's considered to be a Mahatma, because he has not, his path is the same, just that some accidental fall down Krishna can excuse, but he will never excuse a mithyachari, a pretender.
Pretender.
Yeah, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, to propagate the Krishna conscious movement, he took the sannyasa when he was just 24 years old. Because when he was before sannyasa, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very long lock hairs, And the people thought, he was very sentimental, just singing Hare Krishna and not speaking about Vedanta and all. They thought that he was very sentimental. He had a beautiful wife and a mother, but he renounced everything and then he became sannyasa so that he could propagate Krishna consciousness. So we saw that there was a six qualities of Krishna which is in fullness. So Aishwaryasya Samagrasya, all wealth, all strength. So in that all renunciation, we can see how when he came as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he renounced everything, right? A 24-year-old man renouncing a very beautiful wife. Is it so easy? No. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that, Vairagya is also one of the quality. And even when we see a person who is in Vairagya, we are also very much amazed, right? Seeing that person, how can one can be, such a great renunciant. And then Krishna is saying that Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam. One has to do our prescribed duty. It is better to do prescribed duty than doing nothing. Better do your duty. Just by abstaining the work, one cannot get rid of the reactions of the work, because right from the birth, Sharira Yatra Pite, this Sharira is a Yatra from the childhood till the time we die. This is a journey, right? We are passing through different stages, and every stage we need to do some activity. Even an old person sitting in the armchair, they are also sitting in the chair. Even if somebody is bedridden, they are also doing some activity of breathing or taking some food in the hand and eating. So can anybody abstain themselves from the work? No. Each and every moment we are supposed to act. Inaction is practically not possible. While action makes us feel scared that of the entanglement, why we are worried about the actions, because we think that the action will entangle us, so better let's not do anything. But inaction also is not recommended by Krishna, because basically one cannot be without doing any activity even for a moment. And then Krishna is giving about the art of work. Yajnatat karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. How can one get rid of the karma bandhana? By acting for Vishnu. Yajnata karmano yatra, doing every activity for the pleasure of Krishna. When we are doing the activity with Krishna consciousness, then that particular activity will not bind us. Lokoya anya, whatever other activities we do, everything will bind us. Unless otherwise we act in Krishna consciousness, every other activity is going to bind us. The activity we are doing for the pleasure of Krishna will liberate us. The activity that we are doing for our own pleasure will bind us. For our own sense gratification, for to satisfy our own senses, if we are doing activity, those activities will bind us. So, Tyaga, in short, Krishna is saying what is a real Tyaga is not by abstaining from work, by doing the work in
Doing it
Krishna consciousness. That is the
conscious.
real Tyaga. So with this, Krishna is saying, don't be without doing the work, but do the work and dedicate everything to him. Yajnata karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Otherwise, that work will bind us. So we should do our activity in full Krishna consciousness. And it is very much possible because of the 9 angas of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Shravanam and Kirtanam sometimes may be difficult for us. But what about Smaranam? Remembering Krishna. Is it difficult? No. Always something is going on in our mind, right? Some background thoughts are always going on in each and every one of us. Why can't that be Krishna? Right? But the only thing is, Smaranam comes when our Shravanam and Kirtanam is good. Without Shravanam, Smaranam will not come. And Prahlad Maharaj is known for his Smaranam. He was always remembering Krishna. Whatever difficulties he underwent, he was always remembering Krishna. And every time Krishna protected him. But the base of his Smaranam was from Shravanam. Because he was hearing Bhagavatam from Narad Muni. He was in the womb of his mother. And
Mother.
Kayadu was not ready to come because she said until the Hiranyakashipu was released, she will not come, she said. So Prahlad stayed in the Kayadu's womb for a very, very long time. And Prahlad heard Bhagavatam from the mother's
Narada
womb, from
Muni.
a pure devotee like Narad Muni. Because of his pure hearing, he was always in the smarana of Krishna. Nothing could, he was so unflinched devotion, right? Hiranyakashipu, even the devatas were, scared of them. Today, the children, when the father is rich, they are so proud of their father, right? That my father is a very rich person. My father has a BMW, my father has a penthouse in South Bombay, like that. But Prahlad's father was almost he was the king of all the three worlds. But did Prahlad get affected by those material opulences? No, because he knows that all these material opulences are very much temporary. They are not going to give us the pleasure. So he knew that, when acting in Krishna consciousness, one gets the complete bliss. In fact, when Narasimhadev was asking, ask for some benediction, Prahlad says, I don't want any benediction because I'm already having you. Don't make me, a business transaction. Don't do a business transaction with me. I didn't do this because you will give me something. But if at all you give something, he says that, give liberation to his father because he was an asura and he did lot of offense. And also give Krishna consciousness to the entire world. And even Raghavendra Swami, he is considered to be the incarnation of Prahlad, who spread the Krishna consciousness in the region of Karnataka, right? Even there's Mantralayam, there is a Samadhi. And it is said that in the Samadhi of Raghavendra Swami, he is still alive in the Samadhi for around 700 years. From his Samadhi, he is blessing us. So everybody should try to go and visit Mantralayam at least once in the lifetime. How many of you had been there to Mantralayam?
No. We have not
I
gotten
had
to.
gone during childhood,
Yeah.
Mataji, but not
Yeah,
much of
not with this knowledge, no?
no.
Raghavendra Swami, this thing. Even I went like you only, Mataji, when I was in 11th grade or something, when I was like around 15, 16 years, I went, but I did not know all these
The importance
stories
of
of Raghavendra Swami. He's still there. Prahlad, he incarnated as Raghavendra Swami in the Kali Yuga to propagate Krishna consciousness. So such should be the thing of our life. And Prahlad having such a opulent father, when he can always remember Krishna, foregoing everything. So how difficult it is for us to do. So we should always remember Krishna. So let's do the sloka number 10. So we are coming to the section of the rungs of the yoga ladder. Sahayajna praja srishtva
यत्न प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापति
उरुवाच प्रजापति
अनेन प्रसविष्याद्व्याम्
अनेन प्रस्य विष्यात्वाम्
एषवोत्तिष्ठ कामदृक्
एष वो स्विष्ट कामदृक्
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
यज्ञ प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापति
उरुवाच प्रजापति
अनेन प्रसविष्मेष
अनेन प्रशविष्येन्द्वम्
एष वोतिष्ठ कामदृक्
एष वो शिष्ट कामदृक्
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
सह यज्ञ प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
पुरोवाच प्रजापति
उवाच प्रजापति
अनेन प्रसविष्यात्वाम्
अनेन प्रशविष्वात्वाम्
एष वोतिष्ठ कामदृक्
एष वो तुष्ट कामदृक्
Would like to recite this? Mamataji, would you try? I know the third line is little difficult, but will help you.
Yeah, we can. Hare Krishna. Bhagavadgita, chapter 3, text 10. सह यत्ना प्रजसृष्ट
Saha yajna praja srishtva
उरुवाच प्रजापति
purovacha prajapati
अनेन प्रसविष्यात्वम्
anena prashaviksyatsvam
एष वो त्वम्
eshavo
एष
tishta
वो
kamadu
एष
eshavo
वो स्विष्टकामद
eshavo tishta kamaduk.
Saha, along with Yagna, sacrifices, Praja, generation, Shishtva, creating, Pura, and anciently, Uvacha said, Prajapati, the lord of creatures, Anema, by this Prashavishyatvam, Prasavishvatvam, be more and more prosperous, Esha, this, Va, your, Astu, let it. Let it be Ishta of all desirable things, Kamaduk, bestower. Translation. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures, sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with the sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, Be thou how happy by this yajna sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving the liberation. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So generally people in general desire what? Prosperity and happiness. So again, as we see that here Krishna is talking about the yoga ladder. So the yoga ladder first starts with the karma kanda thing. You know, you do something and you're expecting something in return over that. And the karma kanda, they are all based on the yajna. So he sent the demigods. Who are the demigods? They are the one who are conducting various universal affairs. Like there is a demigod for air, for demigod for water, demigod who is in control of rain. So there are different demigods who are conducting the various departments of this earthly planets. Like we have a prime minister and we have several other cabinet minister, right, who are taking care of various affairs of the country. Like we have the educational minister who just forced to resign, right? Like that, we have different ministers. So, like these demigods, they are sent because they are taking care of various universal affairs.
Activity.
So, by working in cooperation with demigods, so when we are doing the yajna to this, but actually speaking, the yajna purusha is whom? It is Lord Vishnu. Even though we are doing the sacrifices to the demigods, but the first offering will always go to Vishnu because he is the Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the proprietor of all the yajnas and he is the master of all the three worlds. So even though we are giving to the demigods, but these sacrifices are going to whom? To Vishnu.
Krishna.
So Krishna is saying, perform sacrifices, work in cooperation with the demigods. By doing so, what happens? You know, you get rain. With the rain, you get grains. With the grains, you attain the prosperity. And then with that, you are you're getting purification. And then with the purification, slowly we come to liberation. We have dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So liberation is always there. So this is a gradual purification, you know. First satisfy them and slowly get purified during this process and aim for liberation. So this is a process where Krishna has given. He has sent forth these demigods and he wanted us to work in cooperation with them so that we perform the yajna and they are pleased and they bestow the mercy on us. But what we should not forget, who is the proprietor of all the yajnas is
Vishnu.
in the other class, I also give an example. If there is an elderly person in the family during the festival, he is the one who will distribute us the clothes, distribute us the Lakshmi and everything for everyone, right?
Correct.
Because he is the proprietor of everything. Everyone will go to him and get from his hands. Right? So, like that, everything goes to Vishnu, and then he gives the share to each and every demigod who are all involved in the sacrifices. So, Sahayagnya Prajasvishtva Purovacha Prajapati. So, perform this yagnya. Anena Prasavavishtam Eshovo Tishta Kamadak. By performing the yagnya, what happens? Our desires gets fulfilled. Mataji, can you read the purport?
Purport. The material creation by the Lord of
Mataji,
creations,
is the
Vishnu.
screen not visible, Mataji?
No.
Oh, sorry. I
Oh,
thought
sorry.
okay. That's why I thought I was putting the screen. Sorry. Yeah, Mataji, you can read from the
Okay.
purport here.
Okay. Yeah. Why does the Lord create material world? The material creation by the Lord of creatures, that is Vishnu, is a chance offered to the conditioned soul to come back home, back to Godhead. All living entities within the material creation are conditioned by material nature because of their forgetfulness of their relationship to Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedic principles are to help us understand this eternal relation, as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedasya cha sarve aham
Eva
eva
Vedya.
vedya. The Lord says that the purpose of Vedas is to understand Him. In the Vedic hymns, it is said, Patim Vishwasyatmeshwaram.
Mhm.
Patim
English.
Vishwasya.
Mhm.
Therefore, the Lord of the living entities is the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also 2.4.20, Srila Shukadeva Goswami describes the Lord as Pati is in so many ways. Shriya Patir Yagna Patir Prajapatir Priyam
Yeah.
Patir Lokapatir Dharapati Patir Gatis Chandaka
But
Krishna Satvatam Prashida Prashidatam Me Bhagavatam Bhagavan Satam Pati. The Prajapati is Lord Vishnu, and he is the Lord of all living creatures, all worlds, and all beauties, and the protector of everyone.
We will discuss here and we'll go further, Mataji. So the entire material existence is why? Because of the forgetfulness of Krishna. We are all in this material world because we wanted to be the enjoyers of this world, separated from Krishna. So every living entity here, they want to lord over this material universe, right? Everybody thinks, in whatever position they are, they think that without them, this work will not happen, right? Even a street sweeper thinks without him, his family cannot be maintained. The principal of the school thinks without the principal's presence, the school will not be maintained. The school cannot run. Everybody thinks, we think that we are the lords. We think ourselves to be the minor gods. We think we are all the gods. Means we are taking the Ishvara Bhav. Like Krishna is the supreme proprietor, but we think, we are the proprietor.
Because of
So
we,
all the living entity, because the main problem is because of our forgetfulness of
forgetfulness.
Krishna. All the sufferings in this material world is because we are forgetful of Krishna. We are forgetful of our eternal relationship with Krishna. Jivere Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera
Krishnera.
Nityadas. We are all his eternal servants. And we are forgetful of that. In Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, Vedesha sarvair ahameva vedyo, Vedanta kritveda videha chaham. He says he is the knower of all the Vedas. He is the compiler of all the Vedas. So, when Krishna is saying something, to surrender to him, Sarvadharman Parityacha Mamekam Sharanam Braja, the compiler of Vedas. So, should we follow the words of Krishna or should we follow the words of the Vedas? Vedas are mainly 90% of the Vedas are dealing with the Karma Kanda rituals because the entire reason for the living entity to come to this material world is to enjoy, to suffer. So, Krishna is given through the Vedas, his Karma Kanda rituals are given so that gradually a person gets purified. Because even to enjoy, you cannot enjoy being without paying the gratitude. You want something, perform the yajna, satisfy the demigod. So then you get it. Don't think that you are the doer. So at least from nothing, from the animalistic stage, one comes to the karma kanda rituals. But that is also what happens because the yajna, the preparator is Vishnu. So even though you are performing, it is ultimately going to Vishnu. So gradually a person gets purified. And then he comes to the stage of the karma yoga. So, but this is a gradual purification. But when one is taking it to Bhakti Yoga, knowing that I have an eternal relationship with Krishna, then directly one can do that. We don't have to go through this process of the Karma Kanda rituals. And Yasmin Tushto Jagat Tushto. When Krishna is satisfied, the entire Jagat is satisfied. Once there was a drought in Hyderabad during Prabhupada's time in around 1974-75. Hyderabad did not receive rainfall for 1 or 2 years. So Prabhupada, along with his disciples, they did the Sankirtana Yajna for a few days. And then there was a heavy rain. So the Yajna that works in today's world is which one? Sankirtana Yajna,
Sankirtana Yajna.
chanting the holy names of the Lord. That is the prescribed yajna of the Kali Yuga because we don't have proper ingredients even to perform the yajna, right? Ghee, where do we get the pure ghee? And to perform yajna, we need lots and lots of ghee. For example, Ashwamedha yajna, one needs tons of ghee. 1000 kgs of pure ghee. Is it even possible to procure? And is it even within our limitations to do? No. So we don't even get proper ingredients, proper things to perform proper yajna in today's world. So, and why we have to do everything for Krishna? Because Bhagavatam also affirms that Krishna is the Pati. He is the Lord of all creatures. And he protects Riyapati, Yajnapati, Prajapati, Diyampati, Lokapati, Dharapati is the husband. He is the one who bestows everything to us. So what we should do is directly connect with Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna
Hare
Mahamantra.
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Rama
So
Rama,
we are
Hare Hare.
directly getting connected to Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We are pleasing Krishna by chanting his holy names. So what is yajna? Mataji, continue.
What is yajna? The Lord created this material world to enable the conditioned souls to learn how to perform yajna sacrifices for the satisfaction of Vishnu, so that while in the material world they can live very comfortably without anxiety, and after finishing the present material world they can enter into the kingdom of God. That is the whole program for the conditioned soul. By performance of yajna, the conditioned souls gradually become Krishna conscious and become godly in all respects.
So this is how it is. So you get we are bestowed with prosperity, and with that one can get gradually purified because every living entity want to live comfortably, right, in this material world. Everything that we do in this material world is for what? To keep us comfortable, to
Yeah.
keep us to away from the anxiety, to keep us away from the misery. We are all trying to keep ourselves from the distress and try to get the happiness. We are trying to mitigate the sufferings and get happiness, right?
Happiness.
So this yajna, how do? They help us to live comfortably in the present body, and then one gets gradually purified because the performance of yajna is for the Vishnu. When we are connecting with Vishnu, there is a gradual purification and become Krishna consciousness and godly in all the respects. Godly means we get the qualities of Krishna. We are not Krishna, but we get the qualities of Krishna. When an iron rod is in contact with the fire, after few uh, after few hours, what will happen to the iron rod? It will become fiery. It will acquire the quality of the fire.
Fine.
Right? So like that, when we are in touch with Krishna, then we also get the qualities of the Krishna. So what is the yajna of the Kali
What is the yajna of the Kali Yuga? In the age of Kali, the Sankirtana Yajna, the chanting of the names of God, is recommended by the Vedic scriptures, and this transcendental system was introduced by Lord Chaitanya for the deliverance of all men in this age. Sankirtana Yajna and Krishna consciousness go well together. Lord Krishna in his devotional form as Lord Chaitanya is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32 as follows with respect to reference to the Sankirtana Yajna. Krishna
Can I read this?
Varnam,
Krishna
yeah,
Varnam, Tvisha Krishnam, Sango Pashtaka Parsanam, Yagnai Sankirtanai Praye, Yajanti Hi Su Medasa.
in this age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of Sankirtana Yajna. Other yajnas performed in the Vedic literatures are not easy to perform in the age of Kali, but the Sankirtana Yajna is easy and sublime for all purposes, as recommended in Bhagavad Gita, also
9.14.
9.1.
Where Krishna says that Satatam Kirtayantoma. One has to always chant the holy name. Satatam means always, not just for some time. We should always do. So, as we know that this Sankirtana Yajna is particularly recommended for this age of Kali because everything is deteriorated. We don't get proper ingredients. The Prohit who would be conducting the Yajna is not in proper consciousness. As we all know that there are red cards. In fact, I thought it is less. Mataji, you corrected me. It is much more today. They ask in lakhs to perform these ritualistic activities, right? So they are not pure. A Brahmana is supposed to live in charity. But today, the Brahmanas are very rich. Earlier, the Brahmanas were very poor because they were supposed to live in the charity that is offered. But today, the Brahmana is all earning and the entire equation has changed, right? So the Sankirtana Yajna is chanting the holy names of the Lord, is prescribed by whom? By Lord Sri Krishna himself. He came as a Bhakta avatar, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna, in the form of a devotee, came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even the Bhagavatam also, there is a Shastric reference. Krishna Varnam, Tvisha Krishnam, Sango, Pashtaka, Parsanam. So, Krishna Varnam. So, the Krishna will come in this Kali Yuga. In what? Yet to preach what? Yagnai Sankirtanai
Sankirtana.
Pyaye. To give the Sankirtana Yajna. So, Yajanti hi Sumedasa. Medasa means what? An intelligent person. Sumedasa. What does an intelligent person will do? An intelligent person will take up Krishna consciousness. Because knowing that this is a yajna that works. Right? If a person is intelligent, what an intelligent person does? An intelligent person does what works for him. Will not get distracted with the unwanted things. So, such is the way. If a person is intelligent, he will follow the Vedic authority, the scriptures, which says that in the Kali Yuga, the prescribed yajna is Sankirtana Yajna, which is nothing but Krishna consciousness is called the Sankirtana Yajna. We chant, we read, we hear. All these things are the part of Sankirtana
Sankirtana Yajna.
Yajna. So, an intelligent person will take up this process of Krishna consciousness. So, if a person is intelligent, he will take up this process because you should know about the futility of the world. Whatever I am doing here, I am not happy in this world. We are not happy even after getting what we are supposed to get, right? Sometimes we are saving our entire lifetime. The savings is used to get a beautiful apartment. But after getting into the apartment, after spending so much of money, sometimes it so happened that there is a litigation case and you're not even getting the apartment. And sometimes you get there, there are several other problems in the houses, right? Plumbing problem, seepage problem, this problem, that problem, like that, so many things are there. So even after getting what we want, are we really happy in this material world?
No.
We are not happy. We think, the advancement of technology is good. But what happened today? People have become very, very separated from each other. Everybody is in their own phones and in their own lives, right? So we could see that whatever scientific advancement, it is actually not giving us happiness. It is getting us more and more entangled in this material world.
Material world.
A person is peaceful and happy when he is chanting the holy names of Krishna because
Nama
you are
Sankirtana.
acting in your constitutional position. Our real constitutional position is we are the
We are
part
the
and parcel
part
of
and parcel
Krishna,
of Krishna.
and we are his eternal servants. So
Servants of
unless
Krishna.
one act in the constitutional position, one cannot be happy. Otherwise, thinking that I am a man, I am a woman, I am an Indian, I am such and such person, these are all our upadis. Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. Once we are serving Rishikesha, the master of senses, then two things happens. One is sarva upadi vinirmuktam. We come out of all kind of material designations and tatparatvena nirmalam, and one gets purified. So the best way to serve our senses is by serving the senses of Krishna. By watering the roots, the entire plant or the tree gets nourished. So similarly, to satisfy our senses, the best way is satisfy Krishna's senses. And when Krishna's senses are satisfied, our senses are automatically satisfied. Not just the way in which the satisfaction comes by satisfaction of our own senses. When you satisfy Krishna, the pleasure derived from his is multifold times than the pleasure derived from the material enjoyment. Right? Material enjoyment is chapala sukha. We get happiness only temporary for a temporary moment. Even if one wants to have the dinner in Taj Hotel, I think their buffet is some 15,000 or what, I do not know, maybe something like that. You are so happily, so nicely, you're going to this Taj Hotel and having your dinner. But how long that happiness lasts? How long will it last?
After eating, it is
It's
over.
for that moment.
It's over. But to go for there, you're doing lot of efforts. You have to work hard so that you can save that kind of money to go to such kind of a restaurant.
Yeah.
So the endeavors that is taken for material enjoyment is very hard. We take so much of endeavor to get things in this material world, but the happiness derived out of it is very meager. The endeavor is more, but the happiness is very meager. But this endeavor, which we are putting in Krishna consciousness, in chanting the holy names of Krishna and hearing and following the Navavivad Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnum, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam, we are reciprocated multifold times of happiness by Krishna. Even
Taste
a
of the
drop
nectar.
of pleasure derived from devotional service is much greater than the pleasure derived from merging in Brahman effulgence or the material enjoyment. So this one should know. So what do we understand from this sloka? Material life is a chance. So this is a chance provided by Krishna. Krishna is giving us a chance. Like why a person, a criminal is put in the prison? What is the reason for the government to put the criminal in a prison?
To realize the mistake.
Yeah, to give a chance for correction. It's a corrective measure given by the government to the prisoners so that once they show the good behavior, sometimes they come out before finishing their term also, right? So material life is a chance, it's not a punishment, and it is meant for spiritual correction. So we should think that, okay, we have made a mistake, but Krishna has given us an opportunity. So we should utilize this opportunity and re-establish our relation with Krishna. So what is the real problem? Forgetfulness of Krishna is the root problem. The very material existence is due to the forgetfulness of Krishna. And the solution for that is always remember Krishna.
Remember Krishna.
In Bhagavadgita, Krishna says, Rasoham apsu kaunteshu prabhashmi shashi suryayo. I am the taste of water. I am the sunlight and moonlight. I am the pranava mantra om. I am the fragrance of the flower. I am the intelligence. So Krishna says everything is he. So somewhere or the other, we are getting in touch with one of these. In the day, we see the sunlight. In the night, we see the moonlight. So is it so difficult to remember Krishna? No. And we drink water several times. And every time we drink water, can we remember this is Krishna? The taste of water is Krishna. Right? So yajna is the center of human life. And yajna means what? Work should be done for Vishnu, which what we saw, yajnata karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. So whatever work we are doing, it should be done for Vishnu. And Vedas point to Krishna because Vedesha sarvair ahameva vedyo. Vedanta Kritveda Videha Chaham. So, because Krishna is a compiler of all the Vedas, it is not that we are thinking Krishna to be the Supreme Lord. It is the Vedas which is pointing to Krishna, and all the knowledge culminates in him. As Bhagavatam starts, Janmadasya Yatonvayat Itaratas Chardeva Bignaswarat. So, this entire creation, everything comes only from him. Right? So the knowledge culminates in him. And Sankirtana is the yajna of Kali Yuga. Chanting is the most effective process today. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Nasti Eva, Gatir Anyata. In this Kali Yuga, what is the only rescue we have? Harina. 3 times it is said, so that to stress the point. Nastieva, Nastieva, Nastieva. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. One can be a very great ritualistic performer. One can do a very nice puja. One can do everything so perfectly. But without chanting the names of the Krishna, then that is not effective. In fact, in Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport, even if you are doing some ritual, some yajna in the home, let's say Graha Pravesh or whatever it is, a devotee should back up with the Sankirtana. We should have at least a 10-15 minutes Kirtana. Then only our yajna gets completed. I attended one of the marriage of the devotees, Krishna conscious devotees. So they had all the rituals, of course, marriage rituals, going around the Agni, everything was there. In fact, very beautifully, they narrated this Vivaha Sarmana, the Grahastha Ashram, how the husband and wife should act. Everything was so beautifully explained. But after everything, there was at least a 1 hour of Kirtana. So every yajna that we do in this Kali Yuga, we should have Sankirtana yajna. We should have the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Only that gives perfection. Otherwise, our yajna will not give perfection. So we should remember, we as a devotee of Krishna, sometimes we do some yajna for the benefit of the family who still believe in doing that. Yes, let's do that, but we should also sing the Mahamantra. At least we know that the preparator of all the yajna is Krishna. So ultimately, it is going to Krishna only. Like in that consciousness, we have to perform the yajna. And remember to do the Sankirtana, chanting the holy names of the Lord. And practical tips, what we can do is chant the holy names regularly. Sometimes people say when they are very new to Krishna conscious, do you chant? Yes, we chant. How often you chant? Whenever I want, I chant. Will that work? If a student has to be successful in the examination, whenever a student wants, when the student study, can he be successful in the exam?
No, that is continuous process.
It's a continuous process. In the training, in the military training, they have a very rigorous process, right? Every day they act as though there is a war, right? Are they sleeping now? There's no war. Let us sleep off. And whenever the war comes, let us fight.
No.
No, they are prepared each and every moment. A firefighter is prepared each and every moment. When there is a fire, he has to act immediately, right? Without even wasting a second, right? So we should chant the holy names regularly and offer your work as a yajna. Whatever work we do, we have to offer it to Krishna. In the 9th chapter, Krishna says, Yad karoshi, yad dashnashi, yad juhoshi, tadati yad. Everything, whatever we do, whatever we give in charity, whatever austerity we perform, every food that we eat, especially the food that we eat, it should be offered as a bhoga to Krishna, and we have to take it as a prashadam. That purifies our self. So by doing the Sankirtana Yajna, by offering everything to Krishna, what happens? There is a gradual purification that is happening. And with that purification, after that, then the liberation happens. Learn and remember your relation with Krishna. Unless otherwise, we know our eternal relationship with Krishna. And we have to always remember, I am the part and parcel of Krishna and I am his eternal servant. And follow simple devotional practices. Whatever we can do, chant, hearing, reading. These are they very difficult? No. They are not difficult at all. Just the thing is, we just need to have a regular practice. This is called sadhana bhakti. and live a life centered on pleasing Krishna. Our life should be to please Krishna. Before performing any activity, one has
Remember
to
him.
ask this question: will this activity of mine please Krishna? If it is yes, do the work. If it is no, don't do the work. This is a real Tyaga. Real Tyaga is not doing the work that
Which does
abandoning
not
the
please.
work that does not please Krishna. That is the real Tyaga. Doing the work for the pleasure of Krishna is recommended. Even we are using phones, we are using iPads, we are using laptops, but this laptop or iPad is also becoming spiritualized because Yukta Vairagya. We can use the material things also for the satisfaction of Krishna. Instead of renouncing the material things, use the material things for the propagation of Krishna consciousness. There are some sannyasis who think they don't even touch money. They think, when you touch money, they think it is Maya. I will not touch. But Prabhupada, what did he do? He took all the money that came as a charity. And with that, what did he do? Propagated
Distributed
Krishna
books and
consciousness all over the world. Lakshmi is needed, right, for propagation. For a devotee can sit under the tree and chant and listen to the katha. But will a common man person come?
understand.
A common person needs a beautiful temple, beautiful festive season. They are very attracted. Beautiful flowers. The Lord is so beautifully dressed up. A very nice alankara. So people are more attracted, right? When there is a temple, they are more attracted to come. And when they come to temple, and when they are taking the darshana, and when they are having prasadam, and when they are hearing, then what happens? Then their devotional service begins. Their devotional process begins. So therefore, everything that we do in this world, rather than rejecting something to be material, use that material thing in the service of Krishna, right? So that should be
Yeah.
our goal, not using it for our own service. I'm earning so much and so much money, so that let me use it for upgrading my own life. Right? That should not be the goal of the life. Prabhupada has given simple living and high thinking. By living in a very simple way, just we have to live in a way to just keep our body and soul together. And when we are living in such a simple way, then we can have a high thoughts. Otherwise, if our thing is keep on upgrading with the society, upgrading the gadgets, upgrading the apartment, upgrading this, upgrading that, will there be any peace? Will there be any peace? There won't be any peace, no, Mataji.
Yeah.
How can we be happy just by keep on accumulating material things? In Bhagavatam, we heard so many pastimes of the devotees where, nothing could satisfy us. Unless otherwise we are Krishna conscious, nothing will satisfy us because everything that we get in this material world is temporary, right? So, any questions or any realizations from these slokas?
Realization, Mataji. See, actually, for me, I can think of myself. It's important. So this week I will see Mataji, like how much I'm able to in my work, how much I'm able to think about him,
We
Krishna,
should
everything.
consciously make our
But
effort.
because so many a times I also
We
work
tend
mein
to forget.
Nitaji.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I many times I also forget. So then, so yeah. So but we have to keep thinking of Krishna, Mataji,
We have
and
to make a
chanting actually
conscious
helps,
effort.
Mataji.
Yes, yes. That's what.
Chanting and
Hearing
reading
and
brings him
chanting only
closer
will
to
lead
him.
to smarana. Without hearing and without chanting, smarana cannot come. The
Correct.
typical
So
example is Prahlad, who heard
yeah,
a lot, because of which he could remember Krishna.
yeah.
So
So reading
hearing
also
and
helps
chanting
and
is
chanting.
our
Yeah.
basic process, Mataji. As much as possible, we need to hear and we need to chant. And we need to hear what we chant. That is very important.
Yeah.
Sometimes we mechanically chant, but we do not hear what we chant. Sometimes I do that consciously. Sometimes it happens because the mind is so flickering.
Yeah.
So I chant and I don't hear. So I don't count that as a beat. So I chant one more mantra and then that I count as a beat. Because I chanted, but I know that I did not hear.
Mataji, so what I do now, Mataji, so Prabhupada ka 4 times there is one
Yeah.
video goes, no,
Yeah.
Mati, 4 times you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So when I have more time, I take the 4 and I chant along hearing
With the
him, I
Prabhupada.
chant it. Yeah. So that is what I do. So that because in the
But
train,
that
no,
is fine,
Mataji,
Mataji. It is nice to hear to Prabhupada, but this sadhana, we are supposed to chant and hear our own names. In the initial stage, it is good, to have some speed and to develop some absorption to chant with Prabhupada. And later on, chanting is very personal, Mataji. One has to chant oneself and one has to hear what we are chanting. You can hear Kirtana and everything else. And it is okay to chant with Prabhupada in the beginning stage, to get that speed and to get that thing. But over a period of time, this chanting is our own relation with Krishna. Each and every one of us is having an eternal relation with Krishna. Each and every living entity is very dear to Krishna. We should have the firm faith that Krishna, I am yours, you're mine. This can be a simple prayer that we can do. I am yours. Just when you go to your altar on a daily basis, say, I am trying to, and another prayer we can always think, my goal of life is you, Krishna. But sometimes, I am falling down in my devotional practices. Please help me. So we can honestly confess ourselves to Krishna. While I know that the goal of life is you, everything that I do, but I am not able to completely dedicate myself. So you please help me. Take help of Krishna. That's what, no? Krishna doesn't like mithyachari. Even if we are doing very bad in devotional service, if with a sincere heart you're going and approaching Krishna and seeking for help, Krishna will help us. We have to seek help from Krishna very sincerely. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra is our GPS. So this is GPS, that is why it's called Krishna consciousness. So it is a conscious efforts that each and every one of us should make. Because Ante Narayana Spriti, we do not know when we are going to take our last breath. Parikshit Maharaj knew that he had 7 days. Do we know how many days or how many minutes or how many seconds or how many years we have? We do not know anything. We have to be prepared for any moment to leave this world, right? Any moment. So at that moment, if we are not able to remember Krishna, then we are going to take birth again in this material world. Right? But one thing that is good about devotional service, which Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, is Neha Vikramana Sosti Pratyavayo na Vidyate Swalpamapyasya Dharmasya Trayato Matopayat. So this is an eternal, whatever the devotional performance, the devotional service we are doing is eternal bank account. It will never get vanished. Even if we have done devotion to certain percentage, but we are not able to perfect, in the next lifetime, we are given opportunity to further our devotional service. But Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj said, finish off the business in one lifetime. Don't prolong. Can't we see this Kali Yuga is becoming more and more Gora? Yeah. Is it so easy to come back again in this material world, Mataji? I feel very pity for children also today. Yeah. They are also bombarded with so many gadgets, so many things they are bombarded, so much of information they are processing. My daughter knows many things which I did not know. Even today, I do not know. She has certain things, she has the knowledge is much more than what I have. Which I don't have at this age. She has it. That's because they are processing so many information, so much of things that they are hearing, through their friends, through here, through the TVs, through the YouTubes, through this, through that, they are bombarded with informations, Our life was very simple. Go to school, study, prepare for exam, eat, play, spend some time with the elders and sleep. That's all. We had a very simple life. Today's children are having complicated life and everything they send by WhatsApp only. WhatsApp, this Edu's, the portal they have. So during the exam time, we are like, every 2 hours, we are supposed to check the what something we are missing out, No, that's the fact, Mataji. That's how it is. Parents are also so much bombarded with all these things more than children studying. It's like we are studying for their exam, getting them, they tell them do this, this technological advancement is definitely not doing anything good for the society. So we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna himself, who came as a devotee, who propagated the Sankirtana Yajna, and through Srila Prabhupada, we are able to understand the real goals of life, understand the futility of the material world, right? Otherwise, we think this world is very nice. Okay, so let us all make, each and every one of us make conscious effort to remember Krishna all the time. And to do any activity, we should know if that pleases Krishna. So by doing these two things, we can remain Krishna conscious throughout the day. And it is a sadhana bhakti. It is a practicing devotee. We are not the devotees yet. We are practicing. So one day we will attain perfection. With the practice comes perfection.
Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasimhaya
Aya
Pranadadadadaiye Hiranyakashi Purvashaka
Purvashaka
Shilatangakalaye
Shilatangakalaye
Ito
Ito
Narasimha
Narasimha
Bharato
Bharato
Narasimha
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 Yato
Yeto
Yato
Yato
Yami
Yami
Tato
Tato
Yato
Narasimha
Narasimha
Bale
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 Narasimha
Narasimha
Hridaye
Narasimha
Hridaye
Narasimha
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 Mahadevim
Sharanam
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 Prapade
Prapate
Prapate
Tavakara
Tavakara
Kamala
Tavakarakamalavarena
Varena Adbhuta
Adbhuta
Sringa
Adbhutashinga
Dalita
Dalita
Hiranyakashipu
Hiranyakashiputanubringa
Tanubringa Keshavadrita
Keshavadrita
Narahari
Narahari
Rupa
Rupa
Jai
Jai
Jagadisha
Jagadisha
Hare
Hare
Jaya
Jai
Jai
Jagadisha
Jagadisha
Hare
Hare
Jaya
Jaya
Jai
Jagadisha
Jagadisha
Hare
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 Jaya
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 Narasimha
Narasimha
Dev Jaya
Jaya
Narasimha
Jaya
Dev Jaya
Narasimha
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 Dev
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 Jaya
Jaya
Narasimha Dev
Narasimha